Hey, what's going on, everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech, and welcome to another episode of Caffeine Crypto, where you can join me with your favorite caffeinated beverage of choice: tea, energy drink, coffee, whatever you got, some water, as we go over this week's crypto news. But also going to be giving away a iPolo X1 from Red Panda. I believe it's an X1. Matter of fact, I could be wrong with the naming convention. So before we get into today's full-on show, which got a few things covered. Obviously, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, the price of altcoins, so on and so forth. Look at the charts. Do a little bit of TA for you. I don't know why my screen just got brighter, but whatever. Talk about various articles. For example, Bitcoin forms bullish pennant. Predictions for various altcoins and Bitcoin. What Lynn Alden. Why is my screen? Hang on. Let me. Sorry. I'm gonna have to fix that. That's annoying me. It like got super HDR bright for some reason. I think you can see that. Analysts unpacked DOJ crypto enforcement memo. Crypto and DeFi may widen the wealth gap, destabilizing finance. Altcoins could rally in Q2 of 2025. And cryptocurrency exchange Kraken cuts redundant roles amid traditional finance push, trying to save some money. Bitcoin miners, Bit Digital got a $53 million facility as AI and HPC push continues. And of course, the Red Panda giveaway, which you guys should have all commented on. How have you adjusted to crypto mining conditions in 2025? So we got to go pick a winner. And I'm pretty sure it's the iPolo X1. Pretty sure. I could be wrong. Yeah, X1. This guy right here. Maybe not the most popular thing, but it's free and it's a giveaway. So deal with it. So yeah, I'm not sure why my screen was doing that. Let me bring you guys focused on me. I'm going to turn off my screen. One moment, please. One moment, please. Technical difficulties. Uno momento, por favor. Oh, that just messed up everything. Hang on. Oh, don't you just love it in the middle of the show? Everything's flustered. All right, now let's go see. No, it's still weird. Hang on. There we go. What the heck, dude? I was like super HDR bright. I don't know what the heck is going on. Got some delicious coffee over there. Good deal. Good deal. Yep. It's not Folgers, but if you guys like some Spanish coffee, drink some El Pilon. So yeah, I hope you're all having a great day. Some quick updates for you. I know you guys want to get into probably the news or the charts. That's what you're here for. Hang tight for the giveaway. But a little bit of an update. Papa Serpent's doing well. We're working towards a transplant. We got to go down south about 2.5 hours to O-Town, Orlando. On track to get the transplant, because it's got to be like certain level of white blood counts. It's got to be, immune system got to be good, all that good stuff. Wifey had a respiratory infection last weekend, so I couldn't go see my parents the other day. I'm going to try to see them today, but I'm still going to mask up just in case. Even though I've been fine, I do not want to risk that, because my dad's immune system, when a cancer patient's immune system is shot out when they're doing their treatment. So mindful of that. Still taking care of my nephews as best I can. We're going to try to see if we can get them out to the Minecraft movie this weekend. I'm sure they will love it because these are, again, the nephews. If you guys are a follower of the channel, that unfortunately my wifey's brother passed away. So now we got two young ones where, it takes a village to raise a family. But it's cool because we got a good group of adults together and helping out, making sure the mom is in the picture, but not the most stable. So we got a better location with a family friend that's basically family. And between us and the rest of us, we're making it work. Water heater, that's fun. I have an idea too. I hit up Chump Change online. So the water heater is at the same age of the house, right? 25 plus years. And really, they're only rated for 20 years. They could go longer than that. But do you really want to risk it, giving out and then all of a sudden dropping its load? It's all the water in the same area where my mining rigs are. Not all my mining rigs, but some of them are in the garage on the side, and that water is going to flow downhill. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend money but I'd rather get a water heater, and I'm looking at, and maybe you guys can educate me, a hybrid water heater, but it's a hybrid heat pump water heater. And the reason I think that might be beneficial is because, you know, the same amount, because my wife and my sons like their hot water. Oh my God, do they like their hot water? You guys probably like, you guys do it too, don't you? You sit in the shower, literally, you don't stand. You sit in the shower and you let the hot water hit you, don't you? Wasting my money. Damn it. Anyways, the point being is because my garage, especially in the summer, right? It's warm now, and the garage will be warmer because it's got to be closed, right? I'm not going to leave it open overnight and stuff like that. I live in the hood. If I have a hybrid heat pump in there, my mining rigs, which already are heating the air, that heat pump should run more efficiently, theoretically, right? Because the air itself is already warm. It's warmer than an average garage household here in the United States because of my mining equipment. So I should use less electricity to heat the water because my mining rigs are already producing the heat to heat the water. And I know some people have been able to plumb in their immersion cooling system into their water heater. I have not done that, and I haven't figured out how to do that in a way that I find. I thought there were some companies that were making it. Like I saw one at these mining conventions, like Bitcoin mining conference, where they had like a straight up water heater built for connecting your immersion cooling systems instead of you having to run, you know, a bunch of pipe, the heat, a different heat exchanger, a bunch of valves, a bunch of sensors using a Raspberry Pi. Instead of doing all that, they had an all-in-one solution. I haven't seen it. I can't find it. Maybe I'm twisted. So my next best thing is a hybrid heat pump / water heater. It would not be included, or the immersion loop would not include it, but at least the ambient air environment will help heat up the water at the same time. So a lot of things in motion, both personal and for the channel. I'm doing my best, and I appreciate your patience as we continue to proceed. And I also got to get a car working because Joey's about to graduate high school, and he has the only other car. Wifey's got one car. I gave him my car so we can get back and forth. I want him to go to college. They might go all the way to Daytona, Orlando, Tallahassee, which unfortunately FSU had a very crazy situation this past week. And my thoughts and prayers for anybody impacted, affected, or that were hurt during this stupidity. But yeah, like, you know, these are things that I have to prepare for, and that costs money, and it's really adding up, guys. It's really adding up. So I got to figure it out. We'll figure it out. I don't know how, but we will. Anyways, thanks for all the crypto, the personal updates. It's 11:12 a.m. I'm sorry if I ate so much of your time and you are only here for crypto news and TA. And I already pushed you away from the channel. I am so sorry. But some of the people that watch this channel do care about these personal updates. And so I just want to get that out of the way. So again, we're going to go through all the news, talk about the numbers, and then do the giveaway towards the end of the video. So hang tight. Just bear with me. So right now, Bitcoin is at the 85K 400 mark. Now, usually what happens, or what we've seen over the past week, is every time we try to break out to 86K, we get pushed back down. Ethereum is over 1600. Solana is looking a lot stronger. It's up 5.24% at 100, almost 140. So while the other coins are suffering, Solana is looking a little bit better. We have some other coins in the deep greens, right? Like Pi or Hype or Jupe or Tau. But yeah, so my mom knows that I stream at this time, and yet she's still calling me. She knows I stream at this time. Yes, Mom. Okay, well then it won't happen today. Can I finish my show, Mom? You know what time it is. She watches the show. She watches the show. But no, there's an Easter gathering for the family. And if I came over today and they're gone, it would have been redundant. So she called for that reason exactly. Anyways, moving on to the weekly, right? So this past week, we started, say, the 13th, 14th, right? You know, this week has been an uplifting week compared to previous, right? But we've been kind of moving sideways. We've been sitting in this range here, right? If we count from Sunday, the bottom of this wick, to the top of that wick, We've been bouncing only 4%. So 2% up, 2% down. Like it's only a this range that we're stuck in. You can see too, right? I think that's an EMA ribbon. Which EMA ribbon is that? Is that the 50? I want to say. Like we're just, if we zoom in, you know, we hit it and we fall back. We hit it, we fall back. With this one, we hit it, we fell back. This one, we hit it, we fell back. So it's constantly. So right now we are right there. Are we going to fall back? Am I going to end this show at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and we're going to fall back? Who knows? But if we can push above it, that would be great. We still got a long way to go to push up, right? 86K, 88K, 90K, 92K. Like these are some serious levels where we might have some significant resistance. And it kind of feels like the market's being manipulated, right? Like some people with bigger amounts of money than us aren't ready for Bitcoin to take off, right? They weren't ready for Bitcoin to take off back here or before the Bitcoin halving, but yet it did it. And it made a new all-time high before the Bitcoin halving. So then they were like, whoa. Let's slow it down. We ain't ready yet. I'm still trying to get as much Bitcoin. I want to own, 50,000 Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and hold the market where it's at and keep on stacking it up. Meanwhile, a lot of retail is selling into the hands of the few. So if you can avoid selling your Bitcoin, I would recommend that. That's not financial advice. That's just like, again, what you're doing is you're putting it into the hands of the few instead of it being in the hands of the many, which the average Joe, every average person in this world that works a 9-to-5 job, blue collar, regular folk, not a millionaire, not a billionaire, not a 100,000aire, just, trying to make it by middle class, lower class, needs to have some Bitcoin. Because if they can hold true and save for like basically retirement, I believe Bitcoin can bring that little bit of relief. Even if you only have you only put $1,000 total since 2017 into Bitcoin, if you hold long term, I believe you will have a pretty decent position. So we'll see. Okay. So let's see here. What are we up from this day right here? So from this wick on the 9th. So we're up 15% since the 9th. So yeah, I mean, the past couple weeks has been a little bit better compared to these weeks. As you can see, the downtrend, we broke out of that area that I was talking about, this little orange section here. I thought we were going to bounce around for a little bit and then pop off. Did the exact opposite, fell out, fell down pretty good all the way down to 76. And most recently, we put in a newer, what you call lower low, right? Relative on the daily at 74.6. And we did it again 2 days, not only on the 7th, but the 9th. But then since we have pushed back up, and this blue line is a super legacy line. So we'll see if we can stay not only above the various EMA ribbons. Right now we're battling the 200, the 50, but we're above the 20 and we're below the 100. So maybe we could push up to the 187, let's say top of 86K. And kind of hold firm. That'd be great. That'd be great to see. But it's just a lot of uncertainty, right? A lot of uncertainty. People are scared. Not just crypto, the entire market. We talked about it last week on Caffeine and Crypto. But Bitcoin forms bullish pennant as tensions worsen between Trump, Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Bitcoin may be in the cusp of a strong bullish breakout as President DJT considers replacing Jerome Powell as the current chair for the Fed. Now, I kind of like Jerome Powell. How do you guys feel about Jerome Powell? And if you're trying to get my attention in the chat, make sure you @ me. Retro Mike, we have setups for heating hot tubs from Asus. Would a similar setup work in line? I don't know. That's a good question, Mike. I have to show you my setup, but it probably wouldn't be best for me to have all my crap around that water heater either. Did Crypto Mikkel raid the channel? Or did he just turn off? Is he still on? No, it looks like he's off. I guess you guys rated. Yeah. YouTube rugging your notifications? No, YouTube just rugs me. They don't like me for some reason. Looks like I got 1.1 drop frames for some reason, even though I'm paying for the best internet and have solid hardware, whatever. Let me know how the thing's looking. But what do you guys think of Jerome Powell? Whether you're on X, Twitch, or YouTube. What do you guys think about Jerome Powell? You like him? You don't like him? Any reasons why? So far, Powell has resisted raising interest rates. At the last check Saturday, Bitcoin was trading around 85.2, and its price remained between the support and resistance points of 84 to 85, up about 14% above the lowest point this month. We already saw that, right? We saw 15. But now it's stuck in this 4% range, 4% total from top to bottom. If DJT White House has normalized challenging virtually all political precedents, such as defying court orders on immigration and punishing news organizations, you could tell this particular article writer has a particular leaning. I try to stay neutral and just look at the facts. So some of the stuff I read, don't read into it too much, but understand, well, first of all, if you understand the rule of law and how the justice system works, you know that certain lines have been breached, period. But just don't, I'm not here to argue about politics, and I don't care for it. So if you're going to argue about it, go somewhere else. But anyways, the point being is the precedence is there for them to challenge XYZ. Will they be challenging the Fed? We'll see. And now, according to Kevin Hassett, the National Economic Council director, Trump is studying whether he has the authority to replace Powell. His statement came up after he told the press, "I'm not happy with him. I'll let him know it. And, if I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast. Believe me. If I had a Fed chair who understood what he was doing, interest rates would be coming down." So Trump and the administration want the interest rates to come down, but Jerome Powell is looking at the wider economic picture and is like, yeah, it's not the right time. We would have been on the right time if DJT did not do the tariffs the way they did. Okay? You could want the tariffs and you want DJT to do this, that, and the other thing, all you want. The numbers on that was stupid. Everybody agrees. The numbers on that was stupid. And if you don't think so, you don't know how to math. I understand they made some adjustments. They pulled back. They paused. 10% across the board, except for China. Yada, yada, yada. They keep adjusting because they're trying to get them to the table to negotiate. I just think it could have been handled better, and they could have mathed a lot better. And they certainly did not. So anyways, Jerome Powell doesn't want to cut rates right now because he was working diligently, and we were probably on track for a soft landing or a soft-ish landing. And then all of a sudden, the tariff news came out, and that probably just threw a wrench in his plans, to be completely honest. So we'll see if DJT fires Jerome Powell. I don't think we should right now with the current economic conditions. The message that would send, right, just like Elon Musk and DJT, when they say something online or in the media or whatever, can influence the markets, a firing of Jerome Powell would have a negative effect on the markets, especially right now. There's got to be a better way to accomplish what the men are trying to do, but we'll see. Anyways, what does this mean for Bitcoin? Cryptocurrency bulls see firing the Fed chair as an erosion of confidence in the central bank, right? So that would be bullish for Bitcoin, bullish for decentralized assets. The theory is that such a move would drive the US dollar lower and Bitcoin higher in the long term. History of currencies of central banks that lack impedance often underperform. Example of these are the Turkish lira and the Zimbabwe dollar. The 4-hour chart shows that Bitcoin has been in a tight range over the past weeks. Notice how it has moved slightly above the 50, I believe the EMA or moving average, which it has. Most importantly, the coin has formed a bullish pennant. This widely is recognized as a bullish pattern consisting of vertical line and symmetric triangle. And I've been seeing, for example, videos from our colleagues, right? Altcoin Daily or whatever. This is going to, Trump's going to make Bitcoin explode, or somebody else. Trump tariffs is going to cause Bitcoin to do this, or blah, blah, blah. Like a lot of bullish sentiment, but not a lot of bullish action. Does that make sense? So that's just my personal opinion. Again, I'm just some guy on the internet. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not a good like trader bro where I'm making millions of dollars overnight. I'm making nothing, and I'm working my ass off just to stay ahead. So the crypto market could alleviate that, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. We just delayed, which hence the title of today's video. We're just delaying the run we were hoping for. Anyways, price predictions for BTC ETH. Let's see what this article says here. We already know where Bitcoin was at, 83K, blah, blah, blah. If Bitcoin moves as per Consortium's expectation, a new all-time high can be hit between Q3 and Q4 2025. On similar lines, trading and analytics account Cryptolytica, I don't know how these names, dude, project a medium-term target of 155,000 for Bitcoin. Now, again, if you watch DJ Mine's content for Money Disrupt, people gave their numbers. BBT and I are still around the $120,000, $125,000 range. Maybe let's say $120,000 to $130,000 range. These people are calling for a new all-time high by Q3 or Q4 of 2025. I'm looking more like late Q4, maybe before Christmas, and then if not early Q1 2026. Again, because I feel like my projections have been pushed back due to all the uncertainty in economic conditions. I could be wrong, right? Because I was calling for Bitcoin to chop sideways before the halving, to chop sideways, pull back a little bit. The halving happens, and then 3 months later, then we start making a new all-time high. And we did the exact opposite of that. We didn't do any of that, to be honest. So anybody who's going to tell you that this is the way Bitcoin's going to go, this is what, well, besides long term, like everybody can say, look at Bitcoin and say, wow, okay, well, Bitcoin's going to go up over the next 10 years, over the next 20 years. How up is a question of debate, but it's kind of like the S&P 500. It will go up. It's just going to have these low points, these ebbs and flows, these downtrots. So along with Bitcoin, analysts are bullish on altcoins. I just can't see it. Not all altcoins. Like Caspa's getting wrecked. Ethereum has been very disappointing. I honestly had to sell a little bit more Ethereum again because I needed to pay bills. Like with everything going on, I have to liquidate some of these altcoins, and it's at a loss in some cases. At a loss in respective to the short term. But considering when I mined it, or when I got into it, or when I bought it, or when I got exposure to it, I 2-3x'd. So it's okay for me to take profits. It's just I wouldn't be as profitable had I sold, say, December 2024, right? When the markets were going absolutely nuts. That probably wouldn't have been the best time for me to take profits. But of course, I didn't, and here we are. But now I'm in a position where I need to pay bills, so I'm having to convert some of these altcoins in order to cover those bills. It's just unfortunate. Q2 investment outlook, blah, blah, blah. All right, so it looks like Swiss Bank prepared the ground for, looks like crypto is preparing the ground for strong altcoin rally in the second quarter, as none of the positive developments have been priced in. And there's been a lot of positive news for altcoins. Maybe not all of them, but a majority of them. So, yeah. So they want Bitcoin. They're expecting Bitcoin short term to be at 87,000, or to battle between 87.8, almost 88K to 83.4, 83K. And what are you saying for Ethereum? So Ethereum right now got support at 1368 and the 1754 resistance. So 1700. Right now we're at 16 and some change. So 1700 key resistance for Ethereum. Can it push above it? We'll see. However, there is a chance that it will break below and it may sink down to $1,100. And I feel like Ethereum has just so much selling pressure just to participate on the network, just to play in DeFi, just to do anything. Ethereum has a lot of selling pressure. And what have we seen really from the Ethereum devs and the Ethereum camp? What have you guys seen? Automatic Beat says ETH to 10K. I wish. I don't know if that's going to happen, at least not anytime soon. And I'd be very sad if it did because I just sold some, so we'll see. But every time I sell, the market goes up. So congratulations. There you go, guys. Have fun. Special guest starring mom. XRP. What's XRP at right now? XRP is at $2, holding strong. They're saying $2.33, but it could also fall down to $1.60 or $1.72. BNB right now is at 590, so below the 600 range. It could push up to 644 where there's some key resistance, or 680, but it could also fall down to 566 is what they're saying. Solana rebounded very nicely from 126. Now it's in the 130s. Yeah, 139, looking really good. It could push up to the 153 or 180, but it could also fall back down to the 110, 120. Dogecoin, I believe, is around 15 cents right now. Yep, 15.8. And it could push up to 17, 20, but it could also fall down to 10. Cardano, could push up to 59, 60 cents or 50 cent, with the downside being 40 cent. And then all the other coins I don't really care about. Chainlink I kind of care about. It hasn't done me well. Avalanche, I was considering selling what I had, because it's just been constantly down, bro. Constantly down. Killing me. Anyways, Lynn Eldon lowers Bitcoin forecast after tariff kerfuffle, eyes liquidity. Macroeconomist Lynn expects Bitcoin to finish 2025 higher than its current price of around 85K, though she says it would have been much higher if not for DJT's announcements of the tariffs. I'm telling you, we were on track. But DJT's administration did straight up tell the financial markets, this is what we want to do. And they laid it out. They straight up said it. Like, we want to drop, what was it, the bond market or the treasuries or whatever. And I'm not even in those, but like, they straight up said their plan. And I believe the plan is to drop them SOBs, market, crash, pull back on certain areas, not all areas, not the wider market, but maybe like the bonds and the treasuries, whatever the yield is, lower the yield, lower the rates or whatever, get that down, which is usually the most stable asset that everybody runs to during economic turmoil. But they want to get that down, and then they want to build the economy back up. So by the time DJT is done with their 4 years, the economy should be doing pretty well. And so the next president will inherit what they're expecting. And the difference is what we're seeing and what we're feeling versus what they're saying. We know what they were trying to do or what they want to do. The execution definitely could have been better. But now we're just delaying what could have been a really good market to go into 2025. So we'll see. Again, personal opinion of mine, I'm just some dude on the internet. Lynn says that massive liquidity unlock could be a catalyst needed for Bitcoin to reach more optimistic targets, similar to those before the tariffs were introduced. For example, if the U.S. bond market broke and the U.S. Federal Reserve had to step in with measures like yield curve control or heavy quantitative easing, Aiden explained. Aiden said that there's a good chance Bitcoin remains or reclaims the 100K price level before the end of the year. She emphasized that the broader financial market down days will remain a challenge for the asset, especially since Bitcoin trades 24/7, unlike traditional stocks. Because it trades 24/7, if people are worried about how things are going to open on Monday, some pools of capital can sell their Bitcoin on Sunday and prepare, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, the suits are in the game, right? Bitcoin back in the day wasn't about the suits. You had a few suits like the Winklevoss or whoever in the game, but it was primarily a bunch of nerds in their basements or in their LAN parties trading with each other or exchanging for goods or services or doing illicit activity on other sites and paying for it. But now the suits are in the game. If the stock market this is why we're correlated right now. If the stock market has a bad day, S&P, NASDAQ, whatever, they offset it with crypto. And if crypto has a bad day, they can offset it with the stock market. And so they're very tied right now. And I think it will take some significant event to decouple us from the traditional markets. Will that happen soon? I can't tell you. It felt like that could happen, especially if what they're talking about here in this article, but I just don't know when that's going to happen. Aiden went on to say that Bitcoin can disconnect from the NASDAQ 100, especially with situations that hurt NASDAQ margins without affecting the global liquidity. As an example, she pointed to the potential repeat of 5 years leading up to 2008 global financial crisis, which she believes could be favorable for Bitcoin. She pointed to the 2003 to 2007 period where there was a weaker US dollar cycle, and while there wasn't a mass exodus of capital, it did flow into emerging markets, right? Commodities, golds, and other assets like Bitcoin, with the US stocks not really being the place to be. If we encounter a 5-year period like that again, that could be the period where Bitcoin does pretty well, even as the US stock market doesn't do particularly well, right? This could be one of the reasons why the altcoin dailies of the world and the other crypto influencers or content creators are talking about Bitcoin's going to explode, right? The administration is positive. There's a lot of positive sentiment around crypto and Bitcoin specifically. The problem is I'm getting a lot of words and not a lot of action. Actions to me speak louder than words. Let's go. Prove it to me with the actions, not the words. But anyways, there you go. DOJ crypto enforcement memo. Basically, the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team is disbanded, right? You know, like the Avengers, they broke up after Civil War. So these guys are disbanded, and they would no longer pursue what Deputy Attorney General Todd Blank described as regulation by prosecution or regulation by enforcement. So we'll see how things pan out with that. I think we need to have some clear regulation, guidance, laws, rules, whatever you want to call it, right? We don't want to turn back into the Wild Wild West where we got the FTXs and the Sam Bankman-Frieds. We want clarity, easy to use, convenience, self-sovereignty of your own financial future, but, you know, not as harsh as you know who was being. So let's see here. I don't want to read all this to you guys. Fraud is fraud, blah, blah, blah. Yada. Specifically, the department will no longer target virtual currency exchanges, mixing and tumbling services like Tornado Cash and offline wallets for the acts of their end users or unwitting violations of regulations, except the extent of the investigation is consistent with the priorities articulated in the following paragraphs. The DOT memo said. So that, I mean, that's cool, right? BitMEX was pardoned, right? We got Ross back, kind of, sort of. A little bit more open. Rules are going to be a little bit more clearer. We'll see how things go. This is a long ass memo. Matter of fact, if you wanna read this, it's a pretty decent read. I'm going to drop that right now into the chat or the video description. Also, if you're interested in Bitcoin conference tickets, check it out. They are linked in the description. Techman, I am sorry that I'm not going. Again, financially, I got some adult priorities I need to take care of. And going to Bitcoin conference doesn't mean that you're not adulting. You're definitely adulting. It's just financially it doesn't make sense because it will cost me from Florida $2,500 to get there, stay there, and to Uber and eat. And Vegas is not cheap. And that money could go towards my pops, towards the boys that just lost their father, to the water heater, to getting my car up and running so I have a car when my son goes to college. You know, there's a lot of, I'm pressed for time, and I don't have a lot of money, and I don't make a lot of money. So I'm not going to go to Bitcoin conference, and I want to. I really want to. And I was working on sponsorships or trying to see if any companies would, but being a small creator, I'm not as attractive as some of my other colleagues and stuff like that. So sorry, I'm not going to make it this year. Anyways, crypto DeFi may widen into wealth gap. Destabilized finance BIS report or Bank of International Settlement warns that crypto and stablecoins may destabilize finance and widen inequality. Now, this is an opinion piece in my opinion, but we'll see. On April 15th, BIS warned that the number of investors and the amount of capital in crypto and decentralized finance have reached critical mass, with investors' protection becoming a significant concern for regulators. The size of the crypto market signals to the authorities that that should be worried about the stability of crypto over and above the role it may have on TradeFi and real economy. All right, we got a lot of RWAs too. The BIS said that become the means through which participants transfer value within crypto. So I guess kind of concerned, right? Because we're the Stable Act aims to create clear regulatory framework for dollar-denominated payment stablecoins, emphasizing transparency and consumer protections. I guess they're worried about consumers moving their shit over, right? Moving from fiat into a stable coin or some altcoin or whatever, and how that could not only destabilize the overall financial system, but also exacerbate the wealth gap. I can see how that could be a problem, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if the regular people, like my mom, my sister, everybody I know in my family has exposure to Bitcoin, and they got exposure to Bitcoin a while ago. They're not just getting into it today. So they're already ahead. It may not be life-changing money that they're ahead, but it will be help out. Oh, I need to get this done money, or I need to pay this bill, or I need to fix my car bill. Like, if every regular person that is tired of fighting and struggling day to day just to make ends meet and pay their bills could somehow gain exposure to Bitcoin and just dollar cost average, little bit by little bit, like a little bit, I don't think that wealth gap would be as bad. But the problem is they're in a position, right? They might have bought Bitcoin a month ago, but now because of the economic uncertainty that the DJT and administration has created with this tariffs craziness, the market's bad, bills are still high, they're still getting paid the same, so now they need to sell their Bitcoin, going from the hands of many into the hands of a few. So it's kind of it's an indifferent situation, because I want to see everybody succeed. I want to see the people that I know built this city and your town and your place get theirs. Because the people that freaking just go out and yacht and golf all day because they got, wipe their ass money, they don't care. So, but we'll see. We'll see if this will widen. According to the report, this implies that the crypto market, which is often presented as an opportunity for inclusive growth and financial stability, can be the means for redistributing wealth from the poor to the wealthier. But I also believe they could be the opposite, right? Some of the whales and some of the money makers get wrecked, guys. They do get wrecked, right? It's not often, but they do. And the most widely televised one was the GameStop situation, right? Where you had retail actually win. It's not often retail wins because the casinos it's rigged. The house is rigged to win, and you're going to lose unless you figure out a way or better way to benefit or beat the house. So beat the damn house. But I understand. Like, I'm in the same position. I had to sell some of my altcoins in order to cover bills because, like, tax return wasn't shit. Freaking bonus from my company. They try to argue with me that I don't even get a bonus anymore because the company is rebranded. Like, no, the original contract's still the original contract, dude. No. Did you make me sign a new contract? No? Okay, then you owe me a bonus. It wasn't shit. Like, I need a better job, yes, but a job that's going to allow me to do the things that I need to do for my family and for my household and for my growth. I can't maintain this channel for the positions that I was looking at. So, am I going to sacrifice you guys, which I love, for a job that's going to pay only a little bit more? No. You better offer me a lot more. And then we'll figure it out. And Son of a Tech had to do the same thing. I remember they were not working for a period of time, and they had to get a job, right? The family stuff, personal stuff adds up, and they had to get a job. They're still making content. They're not making up as much as they used to. Sometimes they have slowdown periods. I'm consistently putting out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Consistently. Year in, year out. May not get all the views, but I'm consistently putting out content. And I want to keep that up because I like sharing. Like, if I find something interesting, I'm like, oh, yeah, guys, check this out. Some of you guys might like it. One person might like it. I don't care. If one person liked it, that's a success. If it helped one person, that's a success. So, altcoins, as we read in earlier articles, may rally in Q2 2025. We're going to move on to the giveaway. I'm still hesitant on that. I still believe that, I don't know. It really comes down to what is the negotiations going on with DJT and the various countries, and are we getting a good deal that's beneficial for both parties. Like, I don't want the U.S. to go around hammering everybody and slapping everybody in the face and be like, pay me money, right? We're not mafia. At least I was hoping we weren't, but if that's what we are, like, I don't like that. I don't want to go around slapping everybody and be like, hey, penguins, you owe me this much money. Like, what are the penguins going to do? So, like, let's make fair trade between countries and parties and work together as a world. Stop doing all this nation bullshit. My nation's better than yours. It's like my daddy can beat your daddy. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, the market increased focus on economy value compels greater competition for user growth and revenue, with rising protocols such as Toncoin, Su, Aptos, Sonic, and Barachain. Now, I don't know those last few. I know of Aptos, Su, and Toncoin. I haven't seen too much from Toncoin, but I know a lot of people were mining Toncoin in the early days. Meme coins still leading the crypto narrative in Q1. I still believe that a lot of people are still pumping meme coins. I don't know why. There's some that could get some good money. You know what's a really funny video? If you guys ever watched Donut Media, James Pumphrey went off on his own and created a channel called Speed. Check out the most recent video. He went 1 week in, $1,000, 3 of his guys, or him and 2 others, $1,000 in the meme coins, got wrecked on a majority of them, and did good on one. And that is a very rare thing, and I want you guys to understand that. That's very rare. The chances of you actually performing well on one meme coin out of hundreds is slim to none. There's a chance. But I'm sure Mr. James Humphrey might have gotten a DM like, yo, boy, check out this coin. And that's where a lot of people get in, right? They get in at the front door, the bottom floor. They hear about a project that's in a pre-sale. It's going to do good. It does do good. And then they make buku money. But a majority of them just tank. They launch, they tank. Or they launch, do good for a little bit. People are like, yeah, go to the moon. And they keep holding. And by the time they hold, somebody rug pulls or rips a decent amount of liquidity out, right? We've seen it many a time. So altcoins will have a decent season. I don't know if it's going to be Q2 2025, which we're going into or in right now, but hopefully it will. Kraken is cutting rolls considering the overall situation. It's a decent exchange. I have some assets on them, but yeah, they're cutting back on redundant roles, trying to save money where they can, as the firm continues to strive and work in key areas, right? Work with legislation, but the dismissal of that lawsuit that they had with the U.S. government is positive news. So they just need to continue to push forward. Bit Digital acquires $53 million facility, right? You know, as we could see here from this document. It's over in New York, right? They're located in the Cayman Islands, but principal in New York, blah, 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 blah. Where's the facility? Where did they buy the facility? Okay. Okay, here we go. So Bit Digital agreed to buy the property for $53.2 million through EVGA Data Centers Corp., the company wholly owned Canadian subsidiary. Okay, so it's in Canada. Regulatory findings show investment 2.2, blah, blah, blah. Bitcoin mining company acquired industrial building in Madison, North Carolina. There we go. Brandon Coin. We need to hit them up. Upping the ante in the business diversification strategy that includes strategic position, blah, blah, blah. So interesting. Cost per Bitcoin USD. What is this chart? DOA, SBC, interest expense. Is this true? October report, CoinShares suggested that at least profitable miners are more likely to shift gears to AI. The cost per Bitcoin is an important metric for mining companies, which have struggled to remain profitable in the past halving environment. Interesting. Tax expense. Damn, that's a huge. Mara is paying a huge tax expense. The black is electricity. SG and A. Not sure what that is. I'm sure BBT can help explain this to me. SBC, DNA. So Riot is over 140. I don't know if that's 140,000 or what. Yeah, it's USD. Cost per Bitcoin, 140,000. Good God, man. The lowest one on here is basically 65, 70,000. This is crazy. So yeah, I mean, as Bitcoin chops sideways or falls harder, the mining operations are pivoting to AI or redundant systems. So anyways, the giveaway. We did a video on how have you adjusted to crypto mining conditions in 2025. 71 likes, 1.7k views. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please continue to like and subscribe and do all that good stuff that helps out the channel. On that video, Red Panda said that you guys, he's going to give away an iPolo X1, right? And the orange pie that comes with it. It mines ETH hash, ETC hash, whatever. Not the most profitable thing in the world, but it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. All you had to do was go to this video and comment, how have you adjusted to the mining conditions in 2025? Some of you commented, maybe not all of you. And so we're going to find a winner, and then I got to get that information over to Red Panda Mining. So you guys ready to do the giveaway? We got a few minutes left. Let's see if you guys are awake. Gonna find out right now, I'll tell you that. Gonna find out right now. So let me go ahead and bring this over here. Let's see here. So we want to filter duplicate users. Don't care about hashtags because I didn't tell you guys to use hashtags. All right. Let me grab the video link. Put that in there. And we should be good. I don't think it's going to show anybody's personal... Oop, wrong thing. I don't think it's going to show anybody's personal information, but we'll see. If this one doesn't work because it wants to charge me, we'll do the other YouTube comment picker. Just working on your PC? All right, good luck. They would have been nice to win for someone that likes and supports ETC. Yeah, definitely. Retro Mike, I win. Panda will declare value at 25k in retaliation for banning his IP from your pool. Yeah, he probably would. He probably would. So, great video. If you haven't checked it out already, you're just catching up with us, whether you're on X or YouTube or whatever. We got the Hobbyist Miner. We got Chump Change. We got Geek of All Trades, or GOAT. We have Greater Good. Wait, did I miss Rapid Mining? Yeah, Rapid Mining, Greater Good, Red Fox, Brandon Coin, of course Red Panda, and then myself. I wanted to get more. I did ask various people, but they were busy or unavailable or whatever. And we all have different strategies. So listen to it. You don't have to do whatever we're doing, but take it, analyze it, make the best decision for you. That's what I always encourage miners to do, is make the best decision for you. But keep me posted on how you're changing, how you're adapting, how you're growing, your mining situation. Are you not mining anymore and you're just buying? Are you trading? What are you trading with? 3 commas, Telegram. Keep me posted. I love you guys. I appreciate it. Now let's do this giveaway. Selecting a user to win the iPolo. YouTube, why are you doing that? What do you mean? Data stream is fine. All right. So let's see here. Don't need that. Don't need that. Is that plus? 2 plus 9? 11. I don't know if that's a plus or a divide. All right. So we got everything we need. All right. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Hopefully I did this right. If not, I'll pull it again. We'll see. But the winner of the Red Panda iPolo that's hidden in the collab video for how you have adjusted to crypto mining conditions in 2025, featuring some of your favorite content creators, is... Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Joker Miner! What? Rigged. Such a rigged. Oh my god, this is fake news, dude. No way. No way. Joker Miner. No, sir. That's messed up. So, nope, you didn't have to be here, to be honest. But that's so funny. That's so funny. I actually got to hang out with this gentleman and his wife at Mine Disrupt. They were working their tail off, helping out at the Terra booth. Let's actually read what they say real quick. I am doing more AI and DPIN, less GPU, and ASIC mining for 2025. Thanks for the giveaway, RPM and Serpent. All right, cool. See, Crypto Craig, rigged. See? Case Rocker, rigged. But yeah, so let's set up our boy here. Let's actually take a screenshot of that before I lose it. And I do not have Joker Miner directly, but I'm just going to at him on X and Red Panda. And we'll just celebrate it. Rigged. Joker Miner is the winner of the Red Panda hidden giveaway. And so Joker will reach out, or I reach out to me, or he reach out to Red Panda, and we'll get that shipped over to them. But hey, don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. There's other giveaways coming. Matter of fact, what is my channel at? Hang on, let me go to... I want to show you everything. You guys can... Well, you know, I don't care. You guys know I don't get a lot of views. Like, look at this. Like, this video, which nobody cares about, only got 60 views. But somebody is going to come around, and they're going to see this video and be like, hey, that's a question I had. And this one guy did a video that nobody really wants to watch, but answers my question. And that's what I like. I like helping. Like, a lot of my videos on automotive helped out. So, yeah. We're less than 300 away from 30K. And I'm doing a giveaway. And I'm probably going to have to do it sooner rather than later, because I really want to get you guys the Mini Doge 3, some Bitcoin trackers, and maybe some more, depending on who participates. In a giveaway. We're going to do a Gleam.io giveaway. We're 235 away, guys. So help me get the channel up to 30K. We'll do the giveaway at 30K. Again, I might do it a little bit earlier because, like, I don't want to sit here and wait. I want to get the Mini Doge out to you guys. I want to get the trackers out to you guys. So we'll give it another week or two, maybe see where we're at in the last week of April. And if we're still at not 30K, then we will just get that giveaway going. So make sure you follow, subscribe, and all that stuff. And we'll keep you guys posted. iPolo X1 win. All right, any questions, comments, concerns? I don't know if Red Panda's gonna go live, to be honest. I don't think they're going live today, or maybe they're asleep. Okay, thank you, Retro. Oh, okay, he's live. All right, cool. Let me grab, I'm not sure, because it wasn't published. It's just a period, really? He just came up with a dot. That's the title of his video, is period. See, I can't do that, though. Like, I couldn't just put a dot or a quotation mark as the title of my video and get views. Red Panda's lucky. Like, I can't do that. Nobody would watch it if it was just that. Like, I have to have some type of clever title or you know, nip slip or something to do it. But anyways, all right, Red Panda Mining is live. Let me see what's going on with the fam. I hope you guys have yourself a great Easter, if you celebrate it or believe it or whatever what it is. I just positive vibes, thoughts, prayers, whatever, your way. Take care of yourselves. Stay happy. Keep in touch. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, hit the heart on X. Hit the heart on Twitch. I'm saying that and it sounds like a different word. Hit the like button on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Help us get 30K. And yeah, do me a favor on the way out. Hit the like button, like I just said. Get subscribed. Hit notification bell to stay up to date. So let's check out additional links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. And you just have yourself a wonderful day. All right? Take care. I'll catch you next one. Oh my God.